Yeah, good morning.
Is my screen visible?
Yes,
Okay. So in the previous lecture, we have discussed some locators in Selenium. So these are ID, second is name, class name, link text, partial one. This one we have also discussed. Now these two are remaining, right?
yes,
So basically, the reason why these two locators are also present because sometimes it may so happen that this locator, all these six locator will not help you to identify the element uniquely, right? Because id cannot be present because developer has designed html code in such a way that he has not used name locator, class name, and likewise these two. But but definitely you can write xpath and css for any element, but definitely you cannot say that you cannot always rely on this locator, but definitely you can always write xpath and css for all the elements on the web page. So today we are going to see this, right? And these are the methods which we have discussed. So get text, this, and this will hit the url, this will send some data on the text box, and this is used for clicking, right? So let us see that what is this xpath. So if I come down, okay, so let me write it here only. What is the syntax of xpath? So xpath, if I talk about, is of two type. First is relative xpath, and the second is absolute xpath. So we will be coming to what is the difference, but let us first understand what is the syntax of writing xpath, relative xpath and absolute xpath. So what is the syntax? So syntax is double slash tag name at the rate attribute equals to, in the single quotation you have to write the value of the attribute. So this is the syntax, right? So let me copy this. So relative xpath syntax is this, and it always starts with double forward slash, right? So if suppose if I come to this website, suppose if I want to enter some data into this text box, so I think this we have already done, but today we will use XPath for this. So if I right click, want to see the HTML code, click this and then click on this box. So this is the you can say HTML code, right? So suppose if I go with this ID, so here I will not use ID locator, but if you see the relative XPath syntax, this is the relative XPath syntax. First of all, you have to provide double slash. So let me write it on the top, double slash, or let me write it here. Okay, so after that I will write. So how we can write double slash, and what is the tag name? Tag name is input. So I will write input after that. So I will write input at the rate. What is the attribute? Attribute, you can choose any one of the attribute. Like suppose I can go with this ID, I can go with this as well, but let us first go with this attribute. So I will say at the rate ID equals to this is our ID, right? So here we are using XPath with the help of ID attribute. So if I want to check whether my XPath is correct or not, so this is our XPath, but I want to first check whether it is correct or not, then only I will write that in my code so that I do not need to write my code again, right? So better is to check it first. So you have to click on console. Okay, so when you click on console, so if some data is coming like this, so you have to press Control L, so this will disappear, right? So as it is a XPath, I will say dollar. So dollar you have to write if you want to check. Dollar XPath is the syntax. Dollar X, inside that, in the double quotation, you have to write your XPath, paste the XPath which we have formed. So this is the XPath, right? And once you hit enter, right? So just expand this and just place your mouse here. So this is highlighting this entire text box, which means the XPath you have written is correct, right? So this is how you can check your XPath. Is it clear to everyone?
Can you repeat again?
Okay, wait. So you understand that how we can write XPath? This is the
Yes.
okay. So if you want to check, because suppose if you have a very, if you are using this XPath many where in your project, but after placing it by mistake, this XPath is not correct. So after you will run your code, suppose for 5 minutes, then you come to know that this XPath is incorrect. So then again you will have to create. So better is to check first, then implement that in your code. So your code will not fail. So this XPath I want to check whether it is correct or not. So I will copy this and I will come to this console tab. So here by default we are here. I will come to this, and if you have some data here, control L will clear all the data. So now control L I have pressed, and if you want to check your XPath, so you have to write dollar, this is the symbol, dollar symbol, and after that X, right? And provide the brackets like that, and in the double quotes write your XPath. So this is the XPath I have created, and remove the space, right? So space is not required, right? So the same XPath, which I have formed here, I copied it here and placed it inside $x, right? So once you will hit enter, and if you try to maximize this, here if you place your mouse, it is highlighting my text box, which means our XPath is correct, right? And length is also 1, which means only one unique attribute is found, right? So this is how you can check your XPath. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Hmm. So just suppose you can also check it here as well if you want to check here itself. So just left click anywhere here, left click and control F, and paste the XPath, right? So if you paste the XPath here, it is saying 1 out of 1, 1 out of 1, which means your XPath is correct, right? So if you want to see that how we can do the same thing, just it is very simple. So these three lines will going to be common again, right? So let me first change this URL so that I can open. Okay, once I will open that Amazon website, I will say driver dot find the element is our text box, but I want to find the text box by the help of by dot, this time XPath. So this is our XPath, and provide the XPath here which we have created. So copy this, and after that I will say dot send keys. What I want to send, I want to send mobile. So if I save it and run it, this time with the help of XPath, we are sending some data into our text box. So let us see first, then we will proceed forward. So website opened, and after that it should enter mobile. Right, so is it clear to everyone? So this is how you can use XPath to send some data. So but suppose as the as our syntax is this, so you can use any attribute. Suppose if I use this attribute, or let me just take, so I want to check whether I am going to get unique. If I say text as the attribute, sorry, type equals to text. Okay, so still it is giving me only one element, but suppose if I take this attribute dir equals to, okay, so still it is giving me. So actually what happens sometimes when you write the XPath, right, so instead of giving one element, it can, if I come here, suppose if I want to write the XPath of this, right, this gift cards. So first of all I will select this and I will say like, right, so if I am writing XPath, so I can also do like this. You can clearly see if I minimize this, all these children, so this is a children, this is also a children, and likewise these all are our children, right? So because of this line, because if I minimize it, they are disappearing. So you can also do one thing. If you feel that I can write the XPath of this parent one and then I will come to child, right? So you can also do with the help of XPath. So how we can do? First of all, I will write the XPath for this parent line, right? So I will say div id equals to tag name is div, attribute is id. So with the help of this statement, again I can write how we can write. So instead of input I will say div and id equals to, what is the id, nav x show. So copy this, and so this is one XPath. So copy this, and just if you want to check whether it is correct, so it is correct, it is giving me only one element, but I want to reach here gift card, right? So gift card is I think here, right, because it is highlighting this. So you can see first is script and second is a. So if I directly want to reach from this line to this one, I can simply say slash a, right? But when I did this, it is giving me total 27 element, because you can see many elements are present here. So whatever it is giving me 27, but I am interested only in this gift card, and gift card is and the gift card is present here, which means at first anchor tag a, right? You can say first gift card is present in, after that best seller. So if I want to go to only first one, I can, in the array bracket I can just say one after one, right? So it will redirect me to the gift card only. But suppose if I want to go here best seller, I can say 2, right? And likewise if I go to, sorry, if I want to go to third one mobile, I can say 3. Likewise at which element you want to go, or you have to write the XPath, you can do like this, right? A of 5. Is it clear to everyone? Likewise 9.
After second one, A1, A2, it's confusing little bit.
Sorry,
Your second part of the export.
this one.
Yeah, A1, A2, what is this? This is little bit
Okay, I will explain again. I am saying that, just suppose if I want to write the XPath for this gift card, so how we can write the XPath, right? So here if you see, just suppose if I can directly write the XPath, but writing like XPath like this ahref equals to this is not very good, right? It will not make your code look clean. And suppose whatever the attribute, like this is a attribute, this is a attribute, and whatever the value you are seeing here, it will keep on changing. Just suppose it will keep on changing. So what I am doing, I know that this code is not changing because it is a right. So I am just assuming that suppose this code is not changing. So first I will write the XPath, relative XPath of this parent line, and from the parent I will come to children, right? So this is also one of the way by which you can write XPath. So first of all, what I have done, I have written the XPath of this parent line. So when I have written the XPath, I know that this is the child. So from parent to child, how you can navigate in XPath? You have to provide slash, which means I want to go to children. So what is the children tag? Children tag is A, right? So I can say A. But when I am saying slash A, if I show you when I'm saying slash A, there are multiple child, right? So this is also child, this is with the same tag. So this is the reason you are getting 27 result. But I am interested only in first one, first anchor tag is. So I will say in the array bracket 1, right? So this is the reason we are providing indexes like this. Is it clear now? Okay. So
How enable this search function for the bottom?
sorry.
Browser, I could not able to see the search function in bottom.
Okay, I will increase. Now visible.
But in my browser, I could not able to see the, how to enable this search function. This also bottom where you are saying.
You are saying that you are not able to expand this.
No, sir, in my browser, sir, in my Visual Studio, the right click is enable.
Okay. So what is the issue?
Yeah, okay, sir. In my browser, I could not able to see this search box, so I asked how to enable this search box in my machine.
Okay, you have to first click anywhere like this and say Control F.
Oh,
Okay. So you can also do like this. So if you see, suppose I want to click this bestseller. So what is the XPath I have written? This is the XPath. You can see it is highlighting bestseller. So once you get the unique XPath, you can say 1 out of 1 elements are matching, which means it is a unique XPath. So you can simply copy this XPath and again you have to use dot click method so that it will click on this, right? So this is also one of the way of writing XPath, right? So as of now we are discussing only relative XPath. So this is again a relative XPath, right? So there is one more variation if you want to see. Just if I come to, suppose this is one website, right? So here if I write XPath or if I write the XPath for this button, okay, so if I try to write the XPath, how I can write? Here itself I will write double slash input class equals to button, value equals to search, or I can use. So you have to provide double at the rate. So still it is giving me one unique attribute, but at times what happen, whenever you will write XPath like this, you can find multiple element, right? So we already saw you can find 27 or more than 27, but here it is giving you unique element. So suppose it is giving me 10 element, but I want to make it unique. So what I can do, I can concatenate one more attribute. I can say at the rate. I can also concatenate this attribute so that it will make it unique. So I can say type equals to. So this is also one of the way to write XPath if you are not finding unique element, right? So this is also, you can say just copy this XPath, and if you want to check you can also check here. But here it is the better choice. If you want to check here, you can Control L $x $x and in the double quotes provide this, hit enter, expand this, and it is highlighting this button, which means our XPath is correct, right? So this statement will remain the same, right? Just this method will change. So you can try after this. You have to use, first open the website, and here this time you have to use dot click so that it will click on continue button, right? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so this we have saw that how to write relative XPath, and what is this absolute XPath? So absolute XPath always start from the root HTML tag, right? And this absolute XPath always start from single slash, and it will always start from the root of the root HTML of the web page. So what is this root HTML, right? So let us first see how we can form this absolute XPath, and then we will see which one to use from these two. So if I come here, this website, so I can write here only Control L. So again, if I write, okay, so first let me show this. If I minimize all these, you can say every, this is the root HTML, right? Inside that HTML tag, it is starting from here and ending it here. Inside that, all your web page code is present, right? So this is the root HTML. So absolute XPath always going to start from this root HTML tag, right? So if you want to have this console output, instead of clicking here, I want to have here only, so that I can also see this. Just hit escape button. Okay, so you can say escape button. So here also we can see these two in parallel. So I will write absolute XPath. Suppose I want to click on this, sorry, send some text. So how we can do, first of all let me see the HTML code. So this is the HTML code, and this you can clearly see this text input one is present inside body, right? If I minimize this body, then you will see that this will also disappear, right? So this code which we are interested in is present inside this one, body. So I am telling that absolute XPath will always start from the root HTML. So how we can write, I will say $x, sorry, actually I'm checking as well. You can also write without that, but it is better in case of absolute XPath, you will keep on checking. So I will say single slash HTML. So if you hit enter, you can see it is highlighting this entire page, which means our and length is also 1, which means only one element is present, HTML. So after HTML, so let me first remove this again. After HTML, what I will write, I want to come to head or body. Our code is present inside this body tag, so I will come to body. So I will say slash body, right? So if I hit enter again, right, so we are correct, right? We came to this body tag, right? And after body, where we have to reach, if I again just click this, we came here, right? And after that I think we have to go here, because if you see, if I minimize this second tag divide equals to page, right, we have to reach here, but as of now we are in the body tag, we are here, right? But from the body tag, first I want to go here, because if I minimize this, you can clearly see what is the parent of this one, this. So if I can minimize it, this will disappear. But if I want to, if I see the parent of this line, it is this, right? But if I see the parent of this line, it is this, right? Because if I minimize this line will disappear. So sorry, not this one, this is the parent of this children have the parent this. So if I minimize this, right, so but you can see this is the parent of all these three line, right? So if I minimize this, these three lines will disappear. So you can say they are disappeared, right? But if I consider this, this is the parent of this line. So first of all, I want to come here, because if I minimize this, they all will disappear, right? So as of now, I am here. Inside that, I will first reach here. So what I will say, I will simply say, again, let me click on inspect. Okay, so I am here and I want to come here. So I will say div slash div, right? So if I say, okay, so let me write it from starting, and I will say slash div, but it is giving me two element, right? You can say number two. Why it is giving me two? Because uh, it is from the body. When I am saying slash div, you can clearly see two div tags are present. So this is the reason, it is giving me number two, right? So if you want to see what it will give, slash 2, right? So it is giving me basically two element. First one is, you can clearly see div hash page. First one is this one, right? And what is the second one? Second one is footer, right? So this is our second one, right? So but I am interested only in going to first one. So I will again I will say, uh, after div I will say 1. So if you want to see, I will say 1. So now I am on the div hash page. So you can see here it is giving me class name, which means I am on the first div. So okay, I am here. You can say div hash page. So when I am here, inside that, if I expand it, where I want to go. So till now it is clear to everyone how we are forming our absolute XPath step by step.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Perfect.
Yes.
great. So where I want to come, let me again inspect it. Okay, so we are here. You can say div hash page, we are here. After that, I want to first come to this one, because inside this only this will present. So I will say again div, I will again say slash div. Again you can see this time it is giving me 4 element, 4 number, when I am coming from here to here. Because if I minimize it, 1 2 3, 1 2 3 and 4, right? So which one you want to? I want to go to first one only, because my element is will be found inside first one. So I will say 1. So div header, now I am here, div hash header, right? So I am here. So expand this, and here we have to come. So again inside this, if you see, only three divs are present. So I will, if I will say slash div, it should give me 3 element. Sorry, it is giving me 4. Okay, so this is also present, right? So this is also present, but I am sorry, not this one. 1 2 3 and last one is 4, right? So this line do not have any children, but all these children will also have some sub children, right? So 1 2 3 and 4 results it is giving me. So I want to go to first one again. I think if I let me again click on inspect. Okay, so here if I again, okay, as of now I am here. So once I will say slash div, it is giving me 4 element, but I want to go to, I think, only second one, right? This time I think, yeah. So not this one, I have to go to second one, because this element is present inside the second tag. So I will say div of 2. So you can say we reached to this point, div of search. Now we are here, and inside that, first of all I want to come to this form, then as a child I will come, right? So I will come to this. So it is very simple. Again say slash form. Now we are on this form, here we are, and after that simple you have to come. So provide the tag name which is input. So this is how. Okay, so again it is giving me 2. If it is giving me 2, because it is giving me 2, because there is one input tag here as well, and the second one is this. So it is giving me two results. So I will say I want to go to first one only because my element is present. So here, so I will say 1. So you can say if I hit enter and I want to check whether my absolute XPath is correct or not, you can say it is correct because length is 1, which means only one element, and this is highlighting as well, which means your absolute XPath is correct. Is it clear to everyone how we have created?
I have one question.
Yeah.
Hello. Now you're hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now you're using some arguments number, right? 1, 2, or something like that. Can we use instead of the argument number? Can we use that specific values? Whatever you see, let's search.
Yeah, you can also do the combination if I show you, but let me first copy this, otherwise I have to create it again.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you can use combination like if you want to. Let me write it here. Okay, so suppose instead of using 1, 2 and 3, you can also do some combination like if I let me copy it here only. So here you have to remove this all. So okay, so is it giving me? Yes, it is giving me this one. So you can also do like this. Instead of writing 1, suppose I will not write 1, so it will give me 2 element. You can say 1 out of 2. So I can also say input. So you can say class. If I talk about class, class is button, class is text field. So I can say input at the rate class equals to what is the class, right? So this is also you can do here as well, you can do to make it unique, right?
Okay.
Here as well, anywhere you can do, it's your choice, right? So you can also use combination like this. So once you will form the XPath, so suppose this is my absolute XPath. So if I copy this and I want to send some data, first of all let me open website. So here I will open the website and then copy this absolute XPath. So this will remain the same XPath, and after that what I want to do, I want to send some data. So send keys I will use and I will say Selenium. So if I run it, this time with the help of absolute XPath, we are sending some data. So let us see whether it is working. Right, so it has entered Selenium Java, right? So this is how you can use absolute XPath. Is it clear to everyone?
Yep.
Okay, so this absolute XPath we many times do not prefer. If I talk about the difference, right? So generally you should prefer this. If I write after that, mostly preferred, and this is not preferred many of the time. Why it is not preferred? Because see, this is the long XPath I have written. Why this absolute XPath is not preferred? Because suppose I have written the XPath like this, absolute XPath, but suppose developer has changed the HTML this tag to input tag, suppose A. So what will happen if this will change in the website? So this XPath will fail, right? So this is, but if I talk about this, suppose this is my absolute XPath. Here we are not, here we are depending on parent node one after the other, then only we are reaching to the our desired element. But suppose this input will become A, just suppose developer has changed some code and it has become A, so now your this XPath will fail and your script will fail. So this is the reason we will not use absolute XPath. But if I talk about this, suppose this is my relative XPath. Suppose this is my, and if I write relative XPath, just relative XPath like this, if I use relative XPath, right? But here you can see we are not depending on any parent node, we are coming to the element directly. So even if the previous tag name will change, our code will not affect, right? So I hope you got that why we will use this most of the time, right? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So
Sir,
sorry.
sir, if many tags have the same class, then
Yeah, I will come to that point as well, right? If you find that, suppose from this, if you are getting more than one element, I have already told you you can keep on concatenating the attribute. You can also concatenate one more, so till the time you will get unique element. Is it clear? Okay, so if I, okay, so suppose if I come to that website Rediff login page. So in the last lecture we saw that here, okay, not this one. Okay, so here in the last lecture we saw that if I try to click on check availability, this ID will keep on changing. So you can see this is the ID. If I place this ID here, but if I refresh this web page, what is the ID this time? This time it will change. This is, sorry, not ID, it is name. So here if you try to use name locator, your script will fail second time, because when you run your program, web page will again load and this ID will now become some other ID. But you can clearly see this part is not changing, right? And if I talk about this part is also not changing, right? So even if you just suppose if you want to write XPath, how you can write? You can write input type equals to button. So I will say control F. I will say input at the rate type equals to button. Input at the rate type. Okay, so one. Okay, so you are getting two element, right? So as this is a XPath, right? So you can also do like this. You suppose I am getting two element. First one is this and second one is this. So total two elements are getting, but I want to go to only first one. So as this is a relative XPath, I can also do like this. I can say after that one, right? So it will only identify now first element, and if you say two, it will only identify second element, right? So this is also one of the way to identify unique element, right? So let us now go with this one as of now. You can try after that. So as it is giving me two element, I can concatenate one more attribute, name equals to this. So I will say at the rate name equals to, copy this, and so this time I think you should quote unique attribute. So but here even if you write this relative XPath in your code and run it, when the web page will load, this part will again change, right? So here, even after you concatenate it and run your program, your code will fail. So what we can do, we can use one, instead of writing like that, right? So what we can do, we can write one XPath with the starts with tag. So what I can say, I can say input, and I will say starts with I will say at the rate. What is the attribute? Okay, so here it is, attribute name is button, sorry, name. So you can also choose any other attribute, right? So I'm just telling you, because just suppose all the elements will keep on changing, then how you will write? So in that case you can use this name equals to, sorry, not equals to, I think name comma, what is the name? This is the name, right? In the single quotation, and after that close this, right? So it is highlighting that. So what is this starts will do? We know that this will keep on changing, and this is, right, it will again change, but this part will remain constant, right? ch is till, I think, here avail, right? It will not change. So what I can do, I can say first go to input tag, and then find that name, that only starts with this, and you forgot the rest of the thing, right? So in that manner, what will happen, even if this next part will keep on changing, our XPath will only look for this name starts with, and then also it can identify our unique element. So right, you can see this is also one of the way if your elements are changing dynamically. Is it clear?
We can only use starts with or even ends with.
So basically, if you try to write ends with, it will not work, right? Basically this is also valid if you want to see. Actually this ends with is a part of XPath 2.0, and it is not supported by our browser, right? So even if you want to see the same thing, you can say XPath ends with not working. So XPath ends with not working, right? So you can say it is not a part of, so it is a part of latest 2.0, but browsers generally not only support 1.0, right? So they have defined some other way if you want to see, right? So here we will not see this, right? So basically XPath 2.0 is the syntax, so that ends with will not support here, but with the CSS you can use ends with. I will show you. Is it clear? So here we will only go with ends with, sorry, starts with. So there is, just suppose here, if I remove this, if suppose this will keep on changing, if I provide some space, I mean to say that whenever you will refresh your browser, this is changing, already we have seen, but suppose this previous value is also changing, at the second time this will become like this, and at the third time it will again change. So in that way, if you try to write starts with, this will also fail because it is also changing. Starts will not work here. So I can use one more, uh, so I have written it here, sorry. So I can use one more, I can say contains. Here I can say, instead of writing starts with, so ends will not work because this is not supported by the browser, contains at the rate name. So I will say contains this, because I am feeling that this will also change. Okay, so input, after that input I have to provide one array bracket. Now this will work, which means If I copy it, if I write it here, and let me, why we are using contains keyword this time, because here only this part is changing, so you can use starts with if this part will change only, right? But suppose this previous part is also keep on changing, so starts will not work here. So I am saying go to the input tag and look for the name that is containing this value. So even if this, because I know this is constant, so even if these previous and after value will keep on changing, this part will remain the constant. So I'm just saying that go to the input tag and check for the name which is having this AVAIL name, right? So this is how it will identify, right? You can say. So you can also remove A here, you can also remove L here, I here, A here, right? So even it is going to identify it uniquely, right? So but you can say 1 out of 3 it is giving this time if you remove. So better to give some, okay, after that it is identifying it uniquely, right? So this is also one of the way to write the XPath. Is it clear to everyone? So if you want to click this, okay, so this we should see. So let me also write one. So again the statement will going to be the same, just we are, if I write, let us see, driver dot get what I want to get this time, this. So this is the link, and after that I will say driver dot find element by dot xpath dot click. I want to click on this button. What is the xpath? So this is the xpath we have created for this button. So I can simply copy this xpath and I will place it here. So if I run it, you can see it has clicked it very fast. So this is how you can form. Just suppose if I write the xpath in a normal way, right? If I write the if I would have written the xpath of this like this, input input tag name at the rate name equals to this. Just I am going with this ID whichever I am seeing at the name equals to. So will it work or not? We have to check. Okay. So if I write the XPath here, it is giving me correct result. But if I try to run with this XPath, so let me change this. This time I will say, right. So if I run it, let us see what will happen. So it should fail because ID will change. You can say this time our code is failed because ID keep on changing. So here we have to modify using contains keyword or starts with, so that our XPath will work, right? So it is saying unable to locate element, which means he do not find any element with this with this ID with this name, right? So this is the reason we should use contains or starts with the XPath, so that even if elements are changing dynamically, our code will not affect. Okay, so XPath is clear to everyone, absolute and relative.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so if you are, if you got the XPath, then CSS will be very easy. If I show you the syntax of XPath, what is, please put yourself on mute.
For contains, we can use contains only.
Sorry.
Instead of sorting, we can like catch the element by using this. contains text syntax.
I'm not getting your question. What you are saying?
No, what I'm asking, we are using the two syntax, right? One is contains text, one is start statement.
Yeah.
If we instead of using this contains text, sorry, text, we can use contains text only, right? Instead of starts.
Yeah, the contents will do the work for both the ending starting. You can use instead of that. Okay. So what is the syntax of relative XPath I am talking about? It is double slash tag name and the attribute equals to value. Okay, so if I talk about CSS, so CSS is only of one type. There is no such thing as absolute and relative. So if I talk about CSS, here syntax will be very much similar. Just you have to remove double slash and at the rate, right? So if I copy the same line for relative XPath and I want to write the CSS, so I can simply remove this I will remove, so this will become my CSS, right? So basically many people will say that CSS is very much faster than XPath, right? So it's always been a point of debate that which is faster, one XPath or CSS. So in the latest browser, right, so even if the CSS will be faster, so that will be only a difference of millisecond, right? So you will not see much a difference, and where you have to use XPath and where you have to use CSS. So in my opinion, in my experience, I feel that whatever uh, locator, XPath or CSS you are comfortable with, you can form your CSS or XPath, right? Or also you can use a combination of XPath and CSS, right? So many companies will prefer using XPath only, and they will say we will not use CSS, and many companies will say that we will only use CSS only and not the XPath, right? So it is not a hard and fast rule that you always should write CSS, right? So this is one point. And if I talk about the syntax, so this is the syntax, so it is same, just remove this double slash and at the rate, right? So if I copy this syntax of CSS and just again if I write any CSS, like for suppose if I come here again for this text box, if you remember we written XPath for this text box, but if I want to write the CSS, I will simply remove this double slash at the rate. So if you want to see, I am using this is the text box. If I want to write the CSS, XPath we have already seen. I input tag attribute equals to value. So I will say id equals to, this is our CSS. Okay, so copy this. Let us see first whether it is correct or not. Control F, Control V. So it is incorrect. Divide equals to this. Let me check again. So sorry, it is not div, it is input. So tag name is input, so it should match now. Now it is giving me only one element, right? So if I want to see here in the console whether it is correct or not, how we can do? So some error is coming from the website, so press Ctrl L, it will clean the console. Dollar, so for the XPath we have used $x XPath, but as it is a CSS, double dollar is the syntax you have to write, and in the double dollar, as it is a CSS, provide your CSS value. So this is my CSS and hit enter, right? You can see length is 1 and it is highlighting, right? So if I want to click on this, so how we are forming CSS is clear to everyone.
Yes.
Okay, so again the same story we will write here. Now I want to say driver again. This is my object. It will have so many method from the class find element. This time I want to find the element with the help of, so XPath we have already seen. So this time it is CSS. So say CSS first one, right? So this is the method, and inside that you have to provide your CSS. So this is the, sorry, not CSS, where it is the one. This is my CSS. So let me copy from here. So copy this CSS selector and paste it here. And I will say dot send keys. I want to send some suppose washing machine. Okay, so if I right click run as, okay, so first of all this we also have to change website name. So here just say, okay, right click run as Java application. This time washing machine should be written here. You can say it has entered washing machine, right? So this is how you can use CSS selector. If you want to, after that, if you want to click on this, you can write the CSS XPath, any locator you can use, and use dot click method so that it will also click and we will come to this page, right? Okay, so CSS, if I come here, okay, suppose I want to write the CSS for this. So I hope you remember that first I have written the XPath. In case of XPath, I have written this first parent line XPath and then I move here. So in the same way you can also do with the CSS. So if suppose if I write the CSS for this, how we can write, I can say div tag name id equals to this. So I will say id equals to this time. So this is my CSS. But here again from the CSS, I could have also directly written the XPath, sorry, CSS for this line, gift card. But I'm saying that this ID will never change. I'm just feeling that this ID will never change. And suppose your developer will, someone has told you that this will not change, but these value will change on frequently, right? So this will keep on changing. So instead of writing the CSS directly for this line, I will write the CSS for this parent one, and then from the parent I will come to this tag. So what is the tag? /a, anchor tag a. So here, as it is not a XPath, so if you try to write like this /a, it will not work because it is not a XPath. So in the CSS, if you want to move to child, you have to do like that, greater than sign, and then write a. But here again it is giving you 27 element because there are so many anchor tag. You can see 1 2 3. Likewise if you come down, there are many anchor tag, right? So it is giving you total 27 element. I want to come to only first one, right? It is the first anchor tag A, right? And if you want to come to this point, script, you can say script here, script, right? So you come here, but I want to go to first anchor tag A, but it is having so many anchor tags, so it is giving me 27 element, but I want to go to first one, so I can write nth hyphen child. Which child you want to go? I want to go to only first one. So is it, so I think this is the correct syntax. So if you want to go to, okay, so I think single nth hyphen child. Okay, so why it is not giving me one? Because if this anchor tag is present here, right? So this is, so I am saying that it is one from my side, but if you see the code, this is the first tag and this is the second tag, right? And this is the third. So if you want to go to first A, you have to write 2 here, right? Now you come to the first one. right?
What
And
is NF?
sorry,
What is NTH? Something you were written.
nth in the sense like fifth, instead of 2 I'm saying 2, which means I want to move to second child. Nth child in the sense like you can have, just assume that if I want to go to second child, second anchor tag A, I am saying nth child in the sense I am providing 2, which means I will move to the second, this one, anchor tag A, right? So this is just a syntax actually.
How, how you move to 2? Because anchor tab after the script type anchor tab is first one, na?
Sorry.
After the script type in child, yeah, A anchor tab it's the first highlighting first one, na?
Okay, so if I, okay, it is highlighting, I should have, yeah, sorry, actually not, see what I am saying, if I, if your anchor tag A is present on the first line, then if I would have said 1, if I would said 1, it will not work because it is present on the second line. So to move to the first one, I will say second here, right? And likewise, if you move to third one, if you want to move to third one, then I will say 3. But here from our end, it is second. It is our second element. So let me show you one more website. If I say this website, I think here I can show you. If I want to see the code, and if I minimize it, maximize it, okay, so here, okay, not a good one. Okay, let me open some other website. So okay, now here I can explain, I think, yeah. So okay, here as well. Okay, so we can take this example. So suppose, first of all, I will write, suppose I am writing CSS. So how I can write, div id equals to container is my CSS. Div, sorry, not double slash, div id container. So it is only giving me one element, which is fine. So but suppose I want to come here or here. So first of all, I have to reach here because it is the child of this one, because if I minimize it, this will disappear. So I will say greater than sign and div. So it is, we are here, but when I will say again one more div, suppose I want to come here, I want to come here, but it will have 1 2 3 4. So this will not be a div, so it will, we have total 1 2 3 and 4 div. So if I say again div, it should give me 4 element, right? So it is giving me 1 out of 4. So it is actually confusing that which one to move. So if I want to move to first child, I can say uh, first, you can do like this, first child, right? So you are on the first child, right? Because it is present on the very first line, so you can use this first child here. And if I move to last child, this is our last div tag, right? You can clearly see I can say last, so it will move you to the last, right? You come to the last one, right? So you can use this, but if you move to second one, so you cannot say this second child. So I think it should not work. You cannot say like this second child, right? So here to move to the second child, we have to write like this. I will say nth hyphen child, and I will say 2 here, right? So this will move you to the second one, and if you move to the third one, just change the number here. So I think this here with this example, it is clear that how we can use this. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Actually here we are not able to use first child. If I show you first child, if I write, it should not work here. Why it is not working here, but here you can see, here it is working, right? Here it is, first child is working, we already saw, because this is not the first child. First child is our script, right? So here it will not work. Likewise, if I say last child, it should not work, because I think last child is not anchor tag, right? So here these will not work, but here you can see, here you can easily use this first child, and this is our last child will also work. Last child, right? So but if you move to the third child, first tag, second and third, so you cannot say third child, you have to use, if I say third, it will not work. If you move to third one, you have to write like this, nth hyphen child third, right? So it will redirect you to the third one. So I hope it is, this point is clear to everyone, right?
I just have a small question.
Yeah,
Can you go back to the previous screen?
this one.
Yeah. So I just wanted to understand, like already we have given an anchor tag before the last child. So we tried using anchor and the nth child. So when we give the anchor tag, it should come at the first one, right? And not go to the script. If we write A
So
and
you can see it is not, it is directly coming to this one. Yeah,
no, when we wrote the nth child and in bracket we wrote 1.
wait, nth hyphen child, like this.
Yeah, you wrote A as well
Yeah, sorry.
before nth.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it should go to the first anchor tag, right?
why it is not going, this is the reason I am explaining, because this anchor tag A is not present on the number 1. Script is present on the number 1, so it is not able to find on the number 1. It is actually present on the second number. First is this, second is this. Here the things are different. If you see here, the div is present on the number 1 line. This is the reason it is identifying here but not here. Are you able to get?
Got it.
Okay, so this is the difference. Okay, so just like we have written XPath here, so if I simply write CSS now for this, how we can write CSS? Input type equals to button. So again it is giving me 2 element, right? So in the XPath we saw some concatenation concept. If you are not finding unique element for this button, you can concatenate this as well. So if I write it here only, so after that, if I also concatenate this attribute, I can say after that I will say name equals to this. So I will say name, and I will also right. So what I've done, I have written one CSS. This is our tag name, right? But if I only writing this alone, it is giving me 2 element. It is giving me 1 out of 2 element. So what I have done, I have concatenated one more attribute name, so that it will going to find only unique element, right? So this is, we also have seen in the XPath as well, but here again you will see that this will keep on changing. If I am writing CSS, this will again change, so this will again fail. So better not to write like this. Again we will use that starts ends with, we will see. So if I want to write starts with, we have seen in case of XPath, I have used starts hyphen with, but as it is a CSS, how we can write? I can say, first of all I will write my tag name. So tag name is input, and I will say what is this name, name name starts with, for the starts with I will use one symbol, shift 6. So this is the symbol that will identify that starts with, right? So it will work exactly the same. Starts with, I will say, what is the name? Starts with this name, BTNCHK. I will say BTNCHK, and after that close the bracket, right? So this is nothing basically but starts with. So in case of XPath we have already seen that. So this part will remain constant, I know, but this number will keep on changing, so you can use this starts with in case of CSS. Is it clear? Okay, so but suppose again some text is written here and this middle one is constant and someone is, so this part will remain constant. So in the XPath we have seen contains, right? So even if this will keep on changing and this will keep on changing, then also our code will not fail. So same with, if I write contains, so for the contents you have to write star, right? So for the contains, if you are expecting contains one, so now it will only check. So if I first remove it from here, I know that avail part is constant, this part is constant, but previous and after value will keep on changing. So I can write, I will say name contains avail, right? So this is how we can use contains in case of, okay, so it has disappeared. Let me write it again. Input, and I will say name star equals to, this is nothing but, is it the name equals to avail. Okay, double slash is, we are not writing XPath, right? So this is the CSS for contains. Is it clear? Okay, so I think it is clear. So there is one more, you can also use ends with here. So in the XPath I have told you that XPath is not supported by this browser, but CSS is supported, right? So you can also use ends with. How we can use ends with? Ends with, we will use ends with when I feel that this part is changing, right? So this part, previous part is constant, but rest of the part will keep on changing, right? So it will keep on changing, so I can use, sorry, not this one, first part will keep on changing and the rest of the part will remain constant. I know this part will remain constant, so I will say whatever the name that will end with this value, right? And even if this will keep on changing, don't, I will, my code will not affect, so I can use this ends with. So if you want to use ends with, you have to write dollar shift 4, and after that you have to provide this value. So I am just assuming that this part is keep on changing, I am just assuming, right? And this part will remain constant every time, so I will say ends with this. So ends with this. Okay, so you can see there are many uh, numbers here which are ending with this value, right? So what I can say, let me write some f here. If I write f 22, so let me, I have to write some more words here. So I will say ends with this. Okay, so it is again giving me this much numbers, so you have to write some more data here as well. Now it is giving me 1, right? So if you want to remove, you can use this. Okay, so again it is giving me 3, now 3 again, now 1, right? So you can say that this part is constant for my element, but previous value will keep on changing, so I can use ends with in case of CSS selector. So is it clear? So if you want to just check whether it is working. Either you can use $$ here, right? So, or let us first see this as well, whether we are able to click. So this is the link. So okay, so you can do this activity, right? This is again same, we have to just change this value to, it should work, right? Just okay, not this one. You can copy this and place it here, right? So you can do this activity, right? Form the CSS and try to click on this button. So let us see some shortcut for CSS, right? What are the shortcuts in case of CSS you can use? If I zone login, if I know only ID, so either you can write XPath or CSS or any other locator. So this, you can see I know the ID of this text box. You can see ID equals to AP_email. So if I know the ID, I can write one CSS with the help of ID only, right? So I can simply say hash ID. So this is our one CSS. So basically this is the shortcut. If you write hash ID name is this. So if you want to see how we can write CSS, so just say hash ID. So what is the ID value? You have to write the ID value. This is the ID value, right? So this is one shortcut for CSS. Okay, so is it clear to everyone? Okay, so if I come to this button, so you can see this is the class. With the help of class as well, suppose this is the class, I can write one XPath shortcut dot class name. That's all you have to write, dot class name, and this is your XPath, sorry, CSS. So how we can do, this is your class name. So after, before that, just provide one dot operator. So dot this. So this is again a CSS, but make sure that only one element is matching, that otherwise you have to use some other concept, right? So this is also one of the shortcut. If you know the class name, then you can use dot class name, and hash ID is one of the shortcut. There is one more. If I show you, this is the class name. You can see class equals to this much big. So if I want to write, I thought of writing one shortcut CSS for that. So I can use dot class name. So if I say dot class name, so this time it is not giving me any uh, unique element, because if you clearly see, there is one space here, and if I say one space here, and if I say three spaces are present, so whenever,
Can you stop the system because I have another work to start?
yeah, just last thing, I just 1 minute, give me 1 minute, okay? That's after that we can stop. So whenever you have the class name with the space, if you want to write the CSS, you have to remove all the space and replace the space with dot. So here one space, I will replace it with dot, and here as well I will remove the space and replace it with dot, and here as well I will remove the space and replace it with dot. So when you will remove all the space and provide the dot operator, then you can write the CSS, right? So basically classes with the spaces are not allowed in Selenium. So this is how you have to do. Is it clear?
Yes, it will be clear. So I have to paste the same thing, copy and paste the Selenium code.
Where?
Now, here in the Selenium, now we are placing the finding the element, right? So
Yeah, you have to just copy this whatever the shortcuts we have discussed, so as it is a CSS, so this will remain constant. So after that you can paste it here, right? Or you can use hash id, right? So whatever the thing you have written, you can paste. Okay, so that's all for today in this session. If you have any query, then you can ask.
When you are using hash and when you are using the
Sorry. Hello.
hello,
Yeah.
I said
Your voice is not clear. Anyone wants to ask anything?
No, sir. I have one question. If in case of ID, you can't find contains or start with or end with, in that case, if we do,
Voice is not audible to me. Again, can you repeat or write your question in the chat box?
like in case of ID,
Hmm.
we can't find contains or start with or end with. Like every time we get the unique ID.
Hmm.
In case,
Hmm.
what we do in that case.
If you are finding unique ID, then you can use directly ID locator without using XPath and CSS. Right? Is it the question? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Is it the question, or you can write it here on this chat box?
No, I'm ready.
Writing?
Yes, yes.
Okay, right.
We can also ask developer to add the ID, right?
We can also ask.
Developers to put the ID.
So I think we testers cannot give any advice to the developer that so it's their part. So we should be able to write our own XPath in CSS. So whatever the locator they will write. So you cannot. I don't think that you can say to that provide the ID, right? So this is their part. We cannot do much on that. But you can definitely write XPath in CSS. So there is not a issue for us. Akshay, is it clear? What if we don't find any contains or starts with or ends with? See, I think, see, we are using contains. If I come to this website again, we are using what if we don't find any contains or starts with or ends with, then how we can get the value? See, you will always find contains, always find starts with. Why you will not find if I just say Amazon website? You will always. We are using contains when our element HTML is changing dynamically. You can find contains for any case. It will match. So if I talk about this ID, right? So we have seen this so many times. So if I want to write, suppose I am writing XPath. So Control F, I will say double slash input at the rate ID. So for every element you can use contains. If you want to use the contains here as well, so you can just say contains keyword @id, provide the bracket. So instead of equal to, you have to place comma. So if you just remove this, for any element you can use contains. So right, so likewise, so but here we know that this id will not change frequently, so why to use contains, right? So similarly you can also use starts with starts with so I am saying starts with 2 because right, because it is starting with 2, so I am saying starts with 2, right? So I think your question is not correct actually, because we can find, we can use contains, starts with, or ends with.
Sorry. Actually, I'm asking in the case of we get the different values when we refresh the page. In that case, I'm asking
In this page,
if the whole ID will change. You previously shown that the whole ID will be changed on refreshing the page. In that case, I'm asking.
okay, this one, this page.
In which the whole ID, we get the new ID.
Okay, I got your question, you are saying suppose if this id will keep on changing. Okay, I got your question. So actually it is a name, just suppose it is a id. Yeah, so you are saying that this whole id will change,
Yes.
like this will be changed to this every time, this id will change to something like. Okay, so here, yes, you cannot.
Any starts and or available.
Yeah, so here what you can do, so here what you can do, just suppose it will keep on changing, right? So either you can choose other attribute, value equals to this, right? But suppose this will again change.
So we can use other
Yeah,
which have starts with or ends with or contains.
no, I am saying whatever the attribute you are seeing here, suppose every value will keep on changing, right? So every time some value will be some different whole value, so in that case you cannot use contains for with any of the keyword, but you can do one thing. What you can do, you can write the xpath for this, because some of the elements will be constant on your website, right? Suppose this is constant, and from here once you return the xpath for this, you can come to child one. So tag name most of the time will not change, right? If it is changing, then some issue with your website, right? So you can point out the issue. So what you can do, here first I will write the xpath for the parent. So we have already seen that. So this is a @ what is the parent of this? td v align is our attribute, equals to, this is our parent. From parent I want to come to child, because I know I cannot use contains, ends with, starts with, because every value will change every time, some other value, whole value will change. So from this parent I come to this input, so I will say slash input. But here again two input tags are present, one is this one and second is this one. I need to come to second, so I will say second, right? So here I'm just assuming that this tag will not change, otherwise you have to point out to the developer that tag name is also changing, something like this, right? Is it clear? So you can also do like this. If you see input, you can also provide bracket. Now with this xpath I want to identify first element, so I can say 1, and also I can say like this 2. So it's your choice how you want to do. So I hope it is clear. Okay, any more issue? Okay, so thank you everyone for attending this session. We'll share the recording after this. Okay.